In this video, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite math topic, factoring. And for every single one of my viewers who are students of mine, this should be a review. So, to review factoring, I want us to look at the factored form of an expression. When we have a factored form such as this, where we're multiplying two binomials, we use that method called FOILing. First, outer, inner, last. And from this operation, we get the expression x squared minus x plus 2x minus 2. And from here I can simplify by combining like terms so that I get the expression x squared plus x minus 2. And so notice in this direction I'm FOILing. Factoring is just the opposite or the inverse operation of FOILing. We're going from a FOILed expression and breaking it up so that we can factor it and have it in two factors of the expression. So let's look at an example. X squared plus 8x plus 12. We can first think about it as I need two numbers or two factors that multiply to give me 12 and add to give me 8. And so I normally start with the number I'm trying to get to multiply and 1. So in this case it works. But when I say 12 plus 1, I get 13, which is not 8, so that does not work. Next I try, for 12 we'll try 6 and 2. 6 plus 2 is 8, and so we have our two factors. So we can rewrite our factors from this one term, which is 8x, into two terms, 6x plus 2x. This is that middle step from our previous example. And then I rewrite x squared and 12. And from here I can group the first two terms and the last two terms and pull out a common factor, or the greatest common factor. Here I'm going to pull out an x, which leaves me with x plus 6. And in the second grouping I'm going to pull out the greatest common factor of 2, which leaves me with x plus 6. When you pull out the greatest common factor, you're dividing each term in that group by that factor, which is how I'm left with x plus 6 for the second grouping. Now you'll notice for our whole equation, x plus 6 is a common factor that you can pull out, and then what's left behind for each term, x plus 2. And then we get our factored solution, or factored form of our expression. Many of you will want to use what's called the box method. The box method uses the same strategy where we find the factors of 12 that add to give us 8, but we display it in a graphical representation of a box. So I rewrite x squared and 12 in the final box, and then I use 6 and 2 to break up that 8x, and then using each row and column I find the greatest common factor. For this first column is x, second column is 6, this first row is x, and the second column is 2, and so which around the perimeter of my box gives me my factored form. I want us to note, when we're solving problems by factoring, we need to remember to set the equations equal to 0. Otherwise, the zero product property does not allow us to set each of these factors equal to 0 and solve for x. So your factored form must be set equal to 0 before you can begin solving. Thanks for watching.